This is Report from Minneapolis, bringing you recorded highlights of the 5th Biennial Convention of the Lutheran Church in America, held June 25th to July 2nd, 1970, at the Municipal Auditorium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. One of the most controversial and debated topics of the convention was the study of the doctrine of the ministry. Although most of the report was finally referred to the Executive Council, the section on ordination of women was approved.
The amendment is before you. It's simply a striking of the word man and insertion of the word person, and I recognize at microphone 9, Dr. Wentz.
Mr. President, I would like to speak in favor of this. I wanted also to speak against what was just defeated by pointing out that if there are no basic theological objections to the ordination of women, and our theologians have been telling us this now for some months and years, even an Inter-Lutheran Commission came to this conclusion, then it is immediately pressing upon us, it seems to me, to rectify those structures that have been based wrongly with a different theological understanding, to provide, as Dr. Ehrenmarth said, the freedom of 50%, roughly speaking, the freedom of choice and the freedom of vocation of half of the human race that is within the Lutheran Church in America.
Thank you. Microphone 3, Mr. Baumann.
Mr. President, I wish to move the previous question on the item now before the House.
This would cut off debate on the ordination of women. All in favor will indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. It is adopted. We proceed to vote on the amendment to the LCA bylaws, Section 2, Item 1, as printed in the Bulletin of Reports at page 259. It is a matter of striking the word man and inserting the word person. All in favor will indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no.
The first time I heard a woman preach was in 1979, and it was my own voice in the pulpit of my home congregation who had supported and sent me off to seminary, and I was home on vacation. Now, these many years later, as we commemorate the 50th anniversary of the ordination of women, 40 years since we ordained the first woman of color, and over 10 years since we ordained openly gay and lesbian persons, we are hearing the gospel proclaimed in so many diverse and amazing ways throughout the pulpits of this church. We are truly a church that proclaims the gospel, the grace of God, that reforms as the Spirit leads and guides us, and celebrates the amazing work that we are called to do. Who would have thought, after all of these years, from that first tentative sermon in the pulpit at Ascension Lutheran Church in Colorado Springs, that I would now serve as the Bishop of the Central States Synod of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. What a privilege it is for all of us to proclaim this gospel. Thank you for your participation in this ministry of the church.
If you asked me for an offering, I'd give it. If you wanted sacrifice, I would obey. But my life is all I have, and I will live it, dedicated to the honor of your name. Gladly will I bow down as your servant. Gladly I will wait for your command. I commit commit my trust to you, for you deserve it. I delight within the guidance of your hand. Here I am, and I long to do your will. Here I am, I'll follow your command. Here I am, until my calling is fulfilled. Here I am, here I am.
50 years ago, I was unaware of the barriers being broken for women in Word and Sacrament ministry. Today, we recognize and celebrate those women who have led the way, and the church that welcomed them, and now welcomes us all. Happy anniversary.
For you have placed your holy word within me. Your book of truth is living in my heart. Written on each page from the beginning, there's a call for me to play my part. Here I am, and I long to do your will. Here I am, I'll follow your command. Here I am, until my calling is fulfilled. Here I am, here I am. Lord, I have sung your praise. I've lifted up your name. I've told the congregation, Lord, of your great salvation, Lord.
Where I am today, where we are today, has been made possible by the courage, inspiration, and yes, sacrifices of so many who have come before us, boldly proclaiming that the Spirit moves where she will, and who are we to stop her? Thanks be to God, who continues to call us to follow their lead and proclaim the gospel and work for justice, trusting that what we see today is only the beginning.
Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart. I, the Lord of sea and sky, I have heard my people cry. All who dwell in dark and sin, my hand will save. I who made the stars of night, I will make their darkness bright. Who will bear my light to them? Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart.
I took a call to serve as the pastor at Abiding Peace Lutheran Church in the Northland of Kansas City. I was the first openly gay or lesbian candidate who'd been called to serve in ELCA church in 10 years. And I said to Bishop Moss, I am sorry. I'm going to make paperwork for you. It has been an honor to serve alongside all of you all these years. I'm still sorry about the paperwork, Bishop Moss, but I wouldn't change a thing.
I, the Lord of snow and rain, I have borne my people's pain. I have wept for love of them. They turn away. I will break their hearts of stone, give them hearts for love alone. I will speak my word to them. Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart.
A child at my internship congregation asked his mom if only women could be pastors, because that's all he knew. As I look forward to the next 10 years, the next 40 years, as we honor and celebrate women of color and the LGBTQIA+ community, I have hope that yet in this church, all people can see themselves represented as leaders within the ELCA.
I, the Lord of wind and flame, I will tend the poor and lame. I will set a feast for them. My hand will save. Finest bread I will provide, till their hearts be satisfied. I will give my life to them. Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart.
The proof of the pudding will be in the eating.
Far too often, women have needed to prove themselves in order to be in this mix. But Dr. Marshall, it is a marvelous pudding. One that has been made even more so by the ordination of women of color beginning in 1980 and the public affirmation of the ordination of folks in the LGBTQ community with the vote in 2009. Oh, praise the gracious power. Oh, praise inclusive love. We praise you, Christ, for your cross has made us one.